My whole life, I've never cared for the ocean. I was always too far away in a cold place, in a warm house where dead trees and ice found their way into each window. My electric window changed that. As the title would suggest, Dave the Diver is a game about diving. If you've played this game, then you know what I just said was a joke. Slightly unemployed Dave relaxes on a beautiful beach when he gets a call from this hyper-fictionalized, true red, white, and blue-blooded American whose sole purpose is to make money. Dave and Cobra make their way to the Blue Hole, which lies just outside of a sushi joint. Dave, being the athletic specimen he is, just can't help himself diving straight in and immediately killing these beautiful and harmless fish. The gameplay starts off extremely simple, giving you only a knife and a harpoon and giving you your first ever glimpse at the ever-changing and beautiful Blue Hole. We're not talking about the Smurfs here. Anyone's first instinct here is to go down as deep as possible. Once again, we're not talking about the Smurfs here, but the tutorial bars that for now. The game does a great job of only giving you a taste of the main mechanic of the game, like only letting you break the chopsticks before digging into the wonderful diverse sushi platter in front of you. Speaking of sushi, you then head over to the Seaside Sushi restaurant run by Samuel L. Jackson. Come to find out, this guy Bancho takes sushi more seriously than his restaurant layout. I mean, how are you supposed to get these bottles down? Turns out it takes an earthquake, and poor Dave immediately goes into an unimaginable debt of $100. These guys then immediately make it his problem to fix this restaurant, so Dave the dives for ingredients. This is the first good look you get at the Blue Hole, which can only be described as magical. The clearness of the water mixed with the variety and vibrance of the flora and fauna is really eye-opening to someone like me who didn't play Subnautica and lives in Minnesota. Simply put, it looks incredible. Swimming around in this 2D space as a fat little man with a harpoon is incredibly smooth and satisfying, and the movement speed feels just perfect. You're given an oxygen tank which acts as both a timer and a health bar to how long you can dive for. Oxygen will drain naturally over time, and taking damage will cause you to lose a chunk of that oxygen. The game really succeeds using this mechanic instead of separating health and oxygen like Subnautica does. You can find oxygen canisters that can prolong your time underwater. These are abundant enough where if you play well, you can spend more than enough time in the water. And there's also a depth meter, which doesn't inherently tell you how deep you can go, but you're likely to find that out due to the innate desire to explore, followed by the flashing warnings and beeping. You can exceed this depth, but you will lose oxygen pretty quickly. Anyway, you'll learn the loop of catching fish and grabbing materials until you hit your carrying capacity, and not the ecological kind. Something that doesn't really need to be explained, but is pretty intuitive, is that to exit the water, you just kinda swim up to the surface. This might seem like a yeah duh kind of moment, but this is a telltale sign of good game design in my opinion. The player figures out that by collecting things in a semi-hostile environment with a pseudo time limit, you need to be able to make your way home safe with these things to reap the rewards. By just this short first dive, the player has already figured out how the diving in the rest of this game will likely play out. So after battling small fish with the spacebar, you return to Bancho in the restaurant with not nearly enough food to serve an American restaurant for a night. Luckily, this is Korea. Bancho shows you the ropes and how to run the restaurant by using your ingredients you collected in the water to put dishes on the menu that might sell for $3. Man, no wonder $100 is Dave's soul-crushing debt. There's only a few menu slots, and you have to be deliberate with what dishes you serve and how many you put on the menu. Whatever doesn't get served off the menu gets thrown away, and you can't really add any more dishes as some get sold out, so you have to put care into this menu and what you use. The restaurant portion then plays out pretty typical to cooking games, except Dave doesn't really do any of the cooking. My real question here, how is this legal? How is this restaurant open to the public? the bar is destroyed. Ethics aside, you somehow pull yourself out of debt in just one shift by hustling back and forth to pour drinks, serve plates, grind wasabi, clear dishes, the like. After a long day's work, the game has made the gameplay loop pretty clear. Dive for ingredients during the day and serve sushi at night. This seems like a pretty fun gameplay loop. There seemed like plenty of fish to catch and dishes to serve. I mean, it'll probably be something like every few days I, can get a new harpoon and find better recipes. That's a quaint thought, new player. Dave the Diver doesn't play that way. Like a mantis shrimp to its prey, Dave the Diver doesn't pull a single punch. The game that follows is an incredibly well-crafted experience with an unbelievable amount of mechanics, ingredients, dishes, characters, bosses, weapons, and everything in between. Don't be fooled by the title. This game is hardly about diving. Also, everything that just happened is about the first 15 minutes of the game. Welcome to Dave the Diver. In the morning, Dave gets a call from some random lady demanding he collects her things from the blue hole. You can call people on the phone, as phones do, but there's not really a point. You collect the goods that Ellie is asking for, along with some other ingredients for the restaurant. After coming back up, Ellie gives you some money and cooking ingredients, and Cobra tells you about a dude who can build you a gun. That is absolutely illegal. This guy Duff is quite the odd-looking character, but he will build you a gun for 1 rope and 1 scrap metal. This is Dave the Diver. Don't question it. Dave only gets 2 dives during the day, no matter how long you spend in the water. The morning dive could be 50 minutes, and the afternoon dive could be 50 seconds, but they still take up the same slot. I actually do like this system a lot because the time frame mechanic doesn't rush you when you're actually in the water. You can take as much time as you need, and you can get all the fish you want and find what you need to find as long as you manage your oxygen well. Not having to worry about getting back to the boat in time to go to the restaurant is something that would have caused unnecessary stress, and something the game is good at is putting aside some of that logic in order to favor how the game feels, and that is commendable. It also makes the game more fun to play as someone who likes to explore every crack and crevice. Anyway, you get back to the boat and Duff does his little thing and makes you an underwater rifle. He also mentions the addition of weapon crates underwater, which will give you blueprints for new weapons and weapon upgrades, blah blah blah. Another great night serving sushi. I'll probably spend the next day collecting the best fish I can so I can make some alright money at the restaurant. Yeah, no, Dr. Bacon's here to tell Dave about an ancient civilization of sea people who are lost to time, and Bacon is about to crack the case. Dave himself tells Dr. Bacon that he's like super busy, but we know how this goes. Bacon then gives you an app to upgrade various things like the suit depth, cargo box capacity, air tank, harpoon damage. To the player, this is what the money being made is likely all going to, and the gameplay loop is somewhat complete. You dive for fish and ingredients to make money, add bonchos, then upgrade your gear to go deeper and get better fish and ingredients to make money and upgrade more, and so on. At the heart of Dave the Diver, this is how the game plays out. It's made it very clear in the first 30 minutes or so what's going to transpire, but how it's going to transpire is something that no mortal human would be able to predict. It's already gone beyond most games in establishing the beginning of a story with a lost civilization specialization of sea people that Dave is essentially hired to uncover, all while collecting things and running the restaurant. The deeper down you go, the more ferocious and valuable the fauna get. You collect this artifact and then like, whoa. I'm no expert, but fighting that thing would be humanly impossible. And then after fighting this other thing with a saw for a nose, my Dave was very much over-encumbered, and I was pretty far down. Now, I know I mentioned earlier that you have to swim to the surface to leave the water, but as you get deeper, there are some escape pods riddled throughout the blue hole. These are pretty common. Maybe a bit too common, but let's be real, Dave the Diver is and has never been a hard game in any capacity. I mean, like, maybe if you tried to kill something way out of your league and you failed, you might get in trouble, but you're basically never going to run out of oxygen and bullets. There's no difficulty adjustment, but I think that Dave the Diver knows what level it's on and where people are looking to find fun. We're not Elden Ring here. So Bacon legally contracts you to work for him for life and then spots you a clean 5 turmeric. And over at the restaurant, Dave makes Bancho download Instagram to get customers, and you can also unlock the menu to customize the interior of the restaurant. You can't really play with how many seats there are or anything like that, but you can more or less change the designs of everything. This guy can't catch a break. Only in Dave the Diver will you receive a side quest from a dolphin. I then battled a shark with a shotgun that I found in a weapon crate, and I stole its head and had an intense battle with this ugly green fish. This lady then comes in to tell Bancho that his restaurant is already popular on Instagram after one day of being on the app, and then immediately starts hating on Bancho, and then Bancho demands Dave to get olive oil and a shark head. Good thing I killed that shark earlier. Joke's on this lady. Bancho can make any doubting customer orgasm with a single bite of food. She's in such a good mood that she puts out an ad for employees because as of right now, this is a 2-man job. Finally, I get a break. So much stuff is happening. A normal game at this time would take a little bit of time to kind of linger around. God damn it, Dr. Bacon. So he gives you this new radar that's giving the location of something to do with the sea people, but first you gotta like all the new posts on Instagram and call Yoshi from earlier for no reason. Then you learn about the painted comber on the loading screen, but then you follow the signal and kill the shark again on the way. The signal comes inside from some pillars, so Bacon sends you up and Dave hears voices and escapes. One dive complete. Cobra tells you to get his package from underwater because earlier it was stolen from a giant, like, squid. Alright, this is getting ridiculous. This guy looks like a pug. He gives you an app where you can see all the fish you've collected in a compendium sort of way. We're collecting these like Pokemon now. There's no reward for collecting these types of fish, but I mean, me being a completionist, I did it anyway, let's be real. This afternoon dive was a unique one for me in that I did not accomplish the quest. Now, as overwhelming as I may make it seem, you don't actually have to do the quest right away. If you wanted to keep this game at fish collecting and sushi selling, you could spend multiple days just doing that. Dave the Diver at heart is a game about comfort, and if you want to slow down and explore, be its guest. Anyway, I did find a sunken ship, and a giant shark took care of that easily. And I think it's also a good time to mention how the marine life actually works in the blue hole. Each new dive, all of the fish reset for the most part. The big fish will always be in a similar spot along with the things you can collect off the seafloor. A lot of those things may be randomized, but where you get them is largely similar. The fish don't respawn within the same dive, but they will be back by the next one. And as someone who's played through the game a few times, I do wish there was a bit more variety in how many and where these fish may be, but I can see that it works well for someone going through it for the first time. After coming back to Bancho's, Dave has gained an employee that is currently going unpaid. As mentioned earlier, Bancho's Sushi is not the most ethical place to be. You can hire more employees by putting out more ads, but Dave's kind of too broke to do that right now. Ellie calls you again in the morning to ask for some more BS, and then Yoshi calls you to give you an app. Why is everyone making Dave download apps? The phone, in my opinion, is actually a great addition to a game like Dave the Diver just because of the sheer number of things going on. I couldn't imagine everything going into a normal menu without it looking and feeling just kind of terrible. And in typical Dave the Diver fashion, the phone is completely decked out with a screen full of things to look at. You can check the weather, you can check the calendar, you can play music, you can use the calculator. How Dave is getting a signal out here is beyond me, but this game is beyond questioning. This is the world of Dave the Diver. We're just living in it. You can even change the boat skin. I trained my employee once and went for my morning dive. The dolphin came back and made me battle some pirates to free the pink one. They also gave me a large gold bar. After collecting Cobra's dumbass drone parts and doing various other questionable things, Dave comes back and Ellie gives him an app. You basically get points from collecting certain things. What those points do doesn't matter because, whoa. If you're any bit perceptive, you'll have noticed the blue hole doesn't look the same as it usually does. Occasionally the map will change a bit. Where things are is about the same, but the layout and the look of the map is actually slightly different. Either way, it's captivating. This game really does not get enough praise for how good it looks in most everything it does. I mean, the blue hole's just riddled with colorful things and interesting geometry. The sushi dishes are just great looking. The fish designs are unique to each fish and wildly different from one another in a lot of cases. I can't emphasize enough how great this game looks. I also wanted to touch on how the map is designed because this is the gold standard for making a two-dimensional map. The way that the background is layered makes it look so three-dimensional. I mean, just look at the background as Dave moves. Things also happen way in the background that Dave can see and even occasionally interact with. The map is also smooth, and that gives a great contrast compared to the pixelated things that you can actually interact with. There's obviously an insane amount of care put into every aspect of the game, and the look and feel of the blue hole makes that very well known. Now we're making money. Geez, I really just wish I had another place to spend it. So Cobra announces the opening of the Cobra shop where you can buy and sell random shit. Bacon also gives you bombs and a camera to explore whatever the hell. So it turns out to be a record chamber of the sea people with ancient texts and this big old guy. So Dave snaps a picture with his trusty new underwater camera and snags a bracelet off the floor. That's probably normal. John Watson is here to kill you for diving for fish and blowing up the ancient structure of the ocean. He doesn't kill you, but he tells you he will. And then Vincent, parentheses, the gourmet, shows up on a TV show, and Bancho tells him to come back in 2 days for food that's going to make him orgasm live on camera. Joke's on him, a lot of people are not happy at my restaurant because the service is so slow. In the morning, Bacon tells you that the bracelet was powerful or something, and he gives it to Dave to wear as a charm. Dave can have 2 charms at once that offer various protections and buffs. Duff's number's in my phone, so I called him to beg for a deep sea headlamp. Duff makes Dave go to the shipwreck interior to recover his anime figurine, but first Dave kills some pirates that are attacking the dolphins. This is normal stuff. Alrighty. How in the hell is Dave gonna solve this problem? Good thing Dave is a superhuman athlete and a wizard with firearms because boom! Dave then cuts a sample from the giant squid and collects Duff's weird fetish to earn his way to the deep sea headlamp. Bancho tells Dave that the giant squid can be used, but it's so stinky that the entire restaurant had to be evacuated and only the employees are allowed in. I think Dave could really use a break anyways. So the squad parties it up and Dave chats with everyone about all the stuff going on before talking to himself about how he's in too deep. Like literally. No shit. Now, I would call Dave the Diver a fairly happy-go-lucky game without, crude violence, other too offensive things. But now we're shooting at humans. I mean, the boss fights in this game are pretty easy. It's Dave the Diver. So after mortally wounding John Watson, he gets away, and it's just back to business as normal. Dave goes down to the depths for the first time, and his headlight flickers on automatically, and the surrounding water changes to a deeper blue with dull turquoise rocks and white corals. Tunnels with red worms block certain paths, and new species of increasingly hostile fish lurk around. I'm not someone with the fear of the ocean or anything like that, but I could imagine this getting a bit tense for someone who does have a similar fear. Dave the Diver makes the conscious choice not to play into the underwater depths of horror that a lot of games typically fall into. I mean, pretty much every game that has you dive deep in the water does this because it just kind of works for various reasons, but Dave the Diver isn't trying to scare anyone. Dave the Diver is a happy-go-lucky game, and I appreciate it sticking with what it is and avoiding that trope, because that trope in Dave the Diver's case is unnecessary. Anyway, while you're down here, you can find new equipment such as the UV flashlight and a pickaxe. The pickaxe can break these like ore clusters, and the UV flashlight can clear out those red worms. A nice detail is that the oxygen supply that you can find underwater changes from like the tube canister sort of thing to a glowing blue clamshell that is holding the oxygen. The further down you go, the more natural it gets, people. After following the bacon signal, Dave comes across those sea people and has no idea what they're saying, so he just kind of leaves. And as I mentioned earlier, the common understanding of the ocean is that the deeper down you go, the more dangerous the marine life gets. So Bacon gives you some olive oil for your hard work and gets so tired of telling Dave what to do that he just tells him to check his app. Imagine how Dave feels. Who is this? This Udo guy character can't control his hands and tells Dave to get some insane pictures for his magazine. At this point, the whole system would collapse as so many people are relying solely on Dave to accomplish their needy wants. Dave needs a fucking break, man. At least the ocean's pretty. Dave the Diver has an iron fish get it, over the player's attention and dopamine levels. Before you could even think about getting bored of doing something, it introduces 2 new characters and 3 more features and 7 more quests, but it also does it in a way where it doesn't really feel overwhelming. It's only overwhelming in all of the right places, like when you first dive in the ocean or when you spend your first night serving sushi. Before you know it, you start the day by checking 6 apps and then selling things to Cobra and then checking on the fish farm and talking to people at the sushi restaurant and going for a morning dive without a second thought. You're hooked. You're hooked harder than a fish hook through the cheek cast into the sharks. You want to stand scared in front of every fish and hardly make it home for the dinner you're also serving. The TV guy creams his robes from Bancho's touch, and this loud farmer is also demanding a dish from the restaurant. Unfortunately, the ingredients can only be found at night. And now Dave can Dave the dive at night. I also hired some dude for the kitchen, and this time, I only slightly paid him. In the morning, Bacon gives you a Sea People translator, and Duff shows you how to upgrade your guns using various materials found from the blue hole. While going to speak with the Sea People, Dave finds this cheeky little octopus and chases it into a hole. What it leaves is probably the best charm in the game, but we will get to that when we get back to the surface. But first, turns out these guys are pretty chill, but this guy needs some corals to help save the Emperor of the Village's daughter, who was just attacked by that squid earlier. Something impressive to me is just how different the big bad fish down in the depths can really get. I mean, most people would just think, do a bigger shark or do a bigger octopus, like something like that. But this one can suck in with its mouth, and this one is shiny, blue, and horny. Not like that. The octopus bracelet is the best charm in the game because after you upgrade your rifle and hire a dinosaur and get Bancho to make coral porridge and look at this giant whale underwater, Dave unlocks the ability to do a short dash. Unlike the sprinting, I don't know how else to describe it, mechanic that drains your oxygen faster, this is a short little dash that you can somewhat spam to get around quicker and, more importantly, dodge the dangerous fish easier. You only get 2 charm slots, but I have no idea why this wouldn't automatically be one of yours. After dashing down to give the porridge to Suam, who then gives it to Ramo, you need to carry her to the Sea People village. Surprise, surprise, it's a thing. We have just made a $1 million discovery. Dave and Dr. Bacon have made the discovery of 1 million lifetimes here. The path there is blocked, and the only way to clear it is by pulling out this giant nail. But Dave's gloves can't handle that kind of action, so he just kind of leaves his insane discovery in the depths of the ocean to go work while Bacon works on getting him some better gloves. But first, let's do a night dive. The night dive takes up about 1/3 of restaurant serving time, and you can't go very deep. But luckily, the marine life at night is wildly different to the daytime. The blue hole at night is also just as vibrant as ever, swapping the sort of Caribbean blue water for more of a deep navy. The developer's ability to turn everything beautiful is just unreal, and why do we not have more visual designer type people like this? We need more mint rockets, we need more profits. A kid with a puppet walks into a bar, the server says, "What do you want?" And the kid replies with a dish. Ha ha ha. One thing I haven't really talked about is the spontaneous animations that play in various moments, like giving a special customer their requested dish or something else story related. I mean, all these cutscenes just look great. They're so full of life, and they often let Dave the Diver embrace the silliness and craziness of the game in somewhat of a different style that's not really incorporated into the gameplay directly. This one took the eel curry guy back to his childhood. I mean, so much care is put into each and every one of these. I get excited when I see the start of one because I know whatever it is about to be crazy and it's about to look great. I mean, Otto loves his curry so much that he wants to meet Dave in the empty parking lot behind the building. Now, I'm no expert or anything, but I don't see a world where this isn't seen as an incoming sexual favor. Turns out it's just a fish farm where the fish you catch in the blue hole leave eggs to be hatched in the fish farm. The fish you get will automatically leave the eggs and they automatically go to the fish farm. I'm gonna be completely honest here, the fish farm's not all that useful. At most you might have like one big shark that's worth a decent bit, but you could also just dive and catch it yourself. You can sell them or send them to the restaurant, which I guess is maybe helpful, but I just don't really use it. Maybe there's good behind it, I don't know. You can buy the deeper down sections and spend money to expand them. From what I've experienced, this is not where my money was going. It's Dave the Diver is a video game. You can play it how you want to play it. Bacon's back, and he's back with the better gloves, so Dave immediately starts picking up heavy rocks and breaking shit immediately in the very convenient tutorial. Something I'm a little mixed on in the game is how much it lets you figure out for yourself. Every mechanic that gets introduced is given a tutorial at some point, or at least a pop-up, and even bosses and missions are usually just given to you straight up on how you complete them. I wish there was a little more experimentation and discovery outside of recipes and fish. The game has always been good at making things in the environment stick out, so if they could just trust the player a little bit more to seek those things out, I think it would be a more rewarding experience rather than just being told how something is done. Also, last night the kid gave Dave a bug net to catch things that can't be caught by weaponry. The dumbass octopus is back, and typically mild-mannered and kind Dave just kind of fucking hates this thing, so he chases him down again and it drops another charm. That's not important because Dave is the human back half of a hammer and pulls this thing out with the strength of 100 divers. Twice. The area below this rock pile is definitely a bit spookier, okay? Now, most people would call it and go straight home in this situation, but Dave is different. The character of Dave is named after Dave Shaw, who in 2004 found the remains of a previous diver way down in a sinkhole. He promised the family of the diver that had passed that he would recover his remains, and in 2005 he dove down, and as he attempted to bring the body up, he experienced some issues which caused him to wrap up in his own cords and cables, which led to him fighting to free himself. He fought so hard that his attempt to free himself led to his passing. Dave Shaw's heroic rescue attempt became a tragedy, but fortunately his efforts led to the remains of the diver who had passed being recovered. Dave Shaw gave his life to bring back what was left of a fellow diver. Dave Shaw was an underwater superhero. If anyone's gonna take this thing down, it's Dave. After shooting at the weak point of the wolf eel and giving it a seizure, Dave takes some of it for himself and finally makes it to the gate of the Sea People village. my breath away. It's absolutely breathtaking. The Sea People Village is magnificent. The water is so clear that it almost looks like it's not there. Fuck that. This is the leader of the village, and like all the sea people, he's not really a fan of the humans. Ramo tells him that Dave isn't like the other guys and that they need him to stop all these damn earthquakes. But first he has to prove he's a good human to all of the people of the village. Tenzin also gives Dave a mirror that acts as a fast travel between the boat and the Sea People Village. But before you get too good of a look at the village, he kicks you out for a day, or maybe the night, because by the time Dave gets to the restaurant, everyone is gone. Yoshi and Dave have a chill little hangout, and Yoshi decides it's time to tell Dave Bancho's deep, dark secret. Bancho used to work at a fancy hotel as one of the chefs, and when a famous actress booked a stay, the managers of the hotel scrambled to find a dish fit for her unique and sophisticated tastes. They leave it up to Bancho, who is certain that he can cook a dish that she will appreciate. He decides to use some interesting ingredients, taking a pretty big risk and giving her a whole roasted shark head, to which she is immediately freaked out by and leaves the hotel. Bancho then quit to train his skills even more because he felt like he wasn't ready. All Bancho cares about is making the best food possible regardless of what the customer may want. You just gotta trust him. Maybe we'll get more of the story in the prequel game coming out soon, which I'm very excited for, I'm not gonna lie. The next day, Bacon cannot believe what Dave was up to, and Otto calls Dave back to the fish farm to breed the fish. Right on cue, this giant little thing flies by Dave's head, and of course you boss battle it. I mean, it's really easy, and Dave takes his little sample, snatches a picture of the kid. We'll get back to that because right now there's bigger fish to fry. In the Sea People Village, no oxygen is drained, no monsters exist, and everyone lives in a peaceful harmony. I mean, I can see why this place is just stunning. So many colorful corals and plants with the bright blue hue of the water, and the green grass-like floors are a nice change of pace from the deep navy and the barren depths. The giant divine tree acts as a centerpiece along with underwater waterfalls. I don't know how it's possible, but they made it possible. There are a few buildings you can enter that have the look of like an old Chinese, type village structure. And the people in the buildings are a little bit weary of Dave, but send him on some pretty simple missions to earn his trust. All these missions are pretty easy, just simple like fetch quests, but they all help you learn a little bit about the Sea People in the process. They also give you a different currency that can only be used in the Sea People Village. There's a flower shop, there's a restaurant, there's a blacksmith, there's an underwater farm, there's even a gambling parlor where you can bet that money you just earned on some interesting enough mini games. Now the real kicker here is that this is the moment where Dave the Diver goes from being impressive to genuinely unbelievable. After catching some of these loose seahorses for one of the side missions, Dave unlocks the ability to race seahorses. You can see all their statistics and enter into tons of different races against other villagers, and actually go in and race them with the crowd pulse meter. To have a mechanic this in-depth in one building of one part of the village at the bottom of the ocean as a part of one side quest to earn a side currency is just insanity, and I think captures the essence of Dave the Diver very, very well. I still can't believe that this is real. Maki's father was the one that had that photograph that thing dropped, and he lets her know through technology, unexplainable, that he has passed away on his expedition. She doesn't really seem to care and asked to work at the restaurant, so now some kid is working as a chef into the late hours of the night. Here at Bancho Sushi, we do things a little differently. Otto calls you over for another sexual favor. Nah, I'm just kidding. He has this big ass farm that he will help you grow rice for Michael Bang's return. Otto will plant and grow the rice for you, but you need to stop by every now and then to pick the weeds that will ruin the rice. The rice is another ingredient just like everything else, but the fact that you get an entire new location and mechanic to grow it is awesome. It's even more than that. The farm will be expanded later. We'll get to that when we get to that. First, let's get our restaurant upgraded. Instagram, thank you. Dave also gets an email saying that there's going to be a jellyfish party in a few days. On this day in a few days, selling dishes with jellyfish will make you a lot of money. This doesn't really change the game up all that much, but it's fun to have kind of a little passive mission where you can collect jellyfish and sell it for crazy money. Oh my god, this is it. Huh. Alright. A few odd jobs later, and Dave has earned his trust with the sea people. Also, he can ride this beluga around the village for $7. So after going back to Tenzin, he tells you that you need to actually go deeper into the water, to the glacial region, to be exact, to fix some stuff up and save the blue hole. The problem is that the key to the glacial passage is behind this scary old gate that was closed. Oh my god. That was closed off for reasons that will become apparent. Dave calls Ellie about the big ass whale he saw earlier and just says that he'll keep an eye out for a baby whale. I also went over to the restaurant and gave it some much needed redesigning with all of the free stuff I've been collecting. Then I jumped in the water and I got this blue hole spawn with a bunch of seaweed. Apparently it's rare and I've never seen it before, so that checks out. It's unfortunate because like everything else in this game, it looks great. It's fun to brush up against the seaweed. And then I went down and I found the baby whale. Cute. You protect the whale from some dangerous fish and unite it with its mother, and they swim off into the sunset. I don't know why this line from Dave really gets me, but this is the heart of the game bleeding out into the water. Dave the Diver isn't a game about diving or cooking or farming or serving or fighting, any of that. Dave the Diver is a game about the connections between people. Not even just people, anything that has feeling and emotion. It's about being in awe of what other people can do. It's about seeing the beauty and the uniqueness of each fish and ingredient and place and person. When Dave sells the special boss dishes, they make a ton of money, but unfortunately, they can only be served one time. Also, business is a lot better with multiple employees and all the good sushi to sell. You will never in a million years be able to guess what is about to happen. Oh yeah, if there weren't enough minigames already, you can play some on the phone. Tenzin sends you to the spot, and it's a dark catacomb-esque cave of terrors. Alright, this puzzle is laughably easy. Like, I know this game isn't meant to be hard or anything, but this is just unbelievably easy. It gives you the key, but uh-oh, now you gotta escape it. Good on. This is super funny to me. This might be the most unnecessary little tutorial pop-up in the game, and it kind of even reads like they don't really care. Like, they were mutated for some reason. Yeah, who knows why? I don't know. So Dave does some pretty classic stealth past these things. Nothing too crazy, then makes a little Indiana Jones type escape to finally chill. Oh shit, it's John Watson. This time he showed up serious, ready to blast the hell out of the environment and possibly mutilate Dave. Let's be real here, this is not a fucking fair fight whatsoever. This guy has a whole power armor suit, and Dave's just a guy. But wait a minute, Dave is that guy. He gets the bright idea to smack John Watson's bombs back at him and forces him to retreat once again. So then Tenzin tells you the history of the Sea People with some nice looking ancient visuals. Basically, the Sea People live off these divine fruits, and this guy exploited them to make some super strong Sea People. He gave it to these things, and it also made everyone turn into zombies, and they're probably still roaming around the glacial passage. Good luck, Dave. Just take a second to admire all the things on the screen right now. Also the weather. Dave the Diver absolutely does not need a weather mechanic like many of its normal mechanics, but I'm glad it does because every place kind of changes vibe and farms for some feelings about this little Korean beachside area that may have gone unknown otherwise. The restaurant is surprisingly calm in the heat of battle. Bancho's porridge healed the battle in the blacksmith's throat. I guess the weather has no meaning down here. I beat this fucker's ass and stole his lunch money. Man, the gambling really just does draw you in. It's like, while I'm down here, I might as well play a game in a video game. My side questing also led me to the seaweed collector's house to catch his giant turtle. It's a dark but needed point that there are still waste in the ocean, even in such a beautiful and remote place. What the hell was that? I don't know if it's just me or what, but every time I dive, I feel the need to fill up my inventory. So I always kind of end up on every single corner of the map to get the big fish. I don't know, maybe I'm just greedy. Good thing the mirrors make it easy. I mean, to be honest, the game would definitely struggle without any sort of fast travel, despite it not really taking a ton of time to navigate to the bottom. Just going through that same path over and over again to get to the Sea People village would be kind of an unnecessary hassle. So even just segmenting it by the boat and the village is insanely helpful. A beautiful wedding is ruined by the destruction of a very old statue. It becomes Dave's problem. We know how this game goes, guys. Sato should probably have drowned there. But he tells you about a monster through a vortex in the stormy night ocean, so Dave, with just about everything in his life to lose, dives down to battle it for only a Pokemon card. Usually the boss fights in this game are pretty easy, but this one's kind of hard for the mortal sin of being clunky and just, it feels kind of odd. I mean, like always, the boss is cool and everything, but it's just so big that it kind of puts you in a corner and you swim around it, but you gotta wait for it to like dig up these barrels, and even those are kind of hard to time because it'll just move into them and blow them up. Dave also feels super slow in this fight, so it feels more like a waiting game than a battle. I think it would have been better if it included some sort of different movement mechanic to get around this like big ass truck thing. The loop of checking on everything is challenging to create in a way where it doesn't feel tedious, but Dave the Diver is so unique in the way that there is so much else going on that checking everything just kind of feels like an afterthought because you're so focused on what's ahead. I mean, I was so scatterbrained that I put way too many things on the menu and lost a lot of potential good sushi, but before I could feel a morsel of sadness about that, you get to play as Dr. Bacon investigating a Sea People cave. I also love how the pirates in this game go completely unexplained. They just pop up in random scenarios and cause trouble. Nothing is ever said about them. Dave's rice is already fully grown somehow, along with a bunch of fish in the fish farm. Cut to the village, and the village food lady is the bancho of the sea and can make you food that will give you buffs for whatever dive you're currently on, and that dive only. Also, I did a terrible job at repairing the statue, and I got $100 out of it. Time to make some forward progress. It's been fun and all, but Dave has a calling to save the universe. We reach the Glacial Passage, which contains a lot of ancient sea people remnants and overgrown murky and icy rocks. It's definitely an uncomfortable place, but at least Dave finds comfort in the big, pointless puzzles to navigate this place. I don't mind the puzzles personally. I actually think they help break up the gameplay a little bit, but these puzzle sections are just so easy that they feel closer to a chore to get through rather than a rewarding challenge to progress. Dave the Diver is an easy game, and that's just kind of its biggest weakness. You can strike the tree fruits to blind these guys, otherwise it's a lot of easy puzzling. They can also melt ice, which becomes the main mechanic of this next little section of puzzles. Luckily this section is pretty short for now because that's pretty. We need something to move this giant mirror to help melt the ice. It's Dave the Diver stuff. Back to the boat it is. Cobra tells you where to get a crowbar. It turns out it was on that ship that sank like 45 minutes ago in this video, but hold the phone. This shark is a menace because now certain higher value and more dangerous fish will spawn in areas that are beginning to lose importance in the story, like close to the surface. This is a fun little ad to keep these places somewhat relevant and give them more purpose than they were serving, because as the game goes on, you start to not even really dive on the surface. You take the mirror a lot of the time. These funny little crabs come out to protect the Half-Life crowbar, and not gonna lie, these things pose a threat. Do not underestimate the jumping Half-Life crabs. Just when you expect Michael Bay to walk in comes the most stereotypical rapper of all time. He's wearing a fat gold chain and a Bulls jersey, of course. He wants some vegetable sushi, and they have no way of making it, so they call Otto up for another surprise later, and then Michael Bang has a pure testosterone-fueled orgasm. Just once do I want to see someone not like Bancho's food. Like, I just want to see, I want to break the rules of Bancho Sushi and peer into that alternate universe where Bancho has the possibility of missing. So, I've been feeding the cat some cat food that I've been finding around the blue hole. It's just cute. It's full of heart. Most people might not even stumble across this. Dave, you sweet little bastard. Otto, you nice bastard. He basically opens up a normal farm to plant the seeds that you buy off him. This is a thing. I mean, not much to say here. It works like a normal farm. You plant seeds and you water them. But still crazy, this is an option to grow even more ingredients. Dave works on his advertisements to absolutely no one and moves further down the glacial passage. You also have to wipe the frost off the camera, which is a fun little touch. Some more easy puzzles later. It's quite dark in here, so Dave... Then the game does an absolutely insane move and just breaks the second dimension for a second to show off one of the Borderlands style boss screens. It's kind of weird. It's a fairly standard like chase and dodge sequence, but luckily it does go in different directions for just a little bit of variety. It's a small gripe, but in these dodging sections you can kind of just ride the middle and move slightly, but that's the cost of keeping Dave on the leash of the current and having him move fairly slowly. It's fine, honestly. Dave is on the brink of escape when probably the most perfect cutscene comes in. This jackass gets to be the guardian angel of Dave. And as a reward for this puzzle section, we have finally reached the glacial area, but it's too cold, so Dave heads back to the village through a giant convenient portal. A side quest takes Dave to an underwater lake that just oozes coolness. I'm glad that certain side quests open up different areas of the map that are just as cool as everything else. I mean, this one even comes with a boss. It's just a great way to make your side quests actually feel worthwhile. And then I brought this guy a porn magazine. And this guy makes me make him a dish so he can open the underwater farm for me. Of course there's an underwater farm. Are you crazy? What beautiful fireworks. If you can't tell, it's time for the jellyfish party at Bancho Sushi. I didn't really have any great jellyfish dishes, so it was pretty lame, but I sold them anyway. Even the exploding one that you have to use a tranquilizer harpoon tip to catch. And then after that, in the late hours of the night, sneaky gambling dude also comes across this cursed little book. And I know I've said this many times, but this will lead to probably the most unbelievable part of this entire game. Bacon lets you know he's working on a warmer diving suit, but he needs a mechanical part. So Cobra gets an idea, but first, you engineer a lure capsule to capture a picture of a manta ray, and hold on, maybe the fish farm isn't all bad. Something's odd in the village because everyone's playing a card game against each other. So Dave goes to the parlor to investigate. First you do a little mini game with a blacksmith. It's alright, because what happens next is genuinely unbelievable. Keep in mind, I have no mods, no DLC. It's unbelievable. If you don't know what this is an almost one-to-one recreation of Balatro within the base game of Dave the Diver. The first time I saw this, I literally could not believe it. I still can't believe it. This is just fucking ridiculous, man. You can battle other villagers for their Joker cards. What the hell is Mint Rocket doing? Why? I don't know why this is in the game. It's cool. The crops are ready to be harvested, so I bought some more seeds from Otto and made Bancho cook another Sea People specific dish. Sato also lets you know about another evil energy vortex in the water, which is like, alright. And then Cobra tells you his plan for getting a mechanical part. That'll all be revealed in due time because I got myself stuck in a corner in a pretty precarious situation. And because Dave the Diver has good game design, I got out somewhat safely instead of just getting bullied to death. This time the vortex led to a mantis shrimp with boxing gloves. This is just fucking absurd. You shoot it in the eyes, and while it's big like the hermit crab, it's a way better boss fight, up to the level of like a lot of the others. I would say none of the boss fights in this game really reach the exceptional level, but when you're trying to accomplish so many things to this level of quality, the fights are pretty good, all things considered. Obviously still easy, but that's just what the game is. Come on, baby, let's redesign the restaurant. The money lost brings more joy than the money itself would have been worth. My employees are also only level 8 out of the max of 20, but hey, they do a pretty good job, and the upgrades can get kind of expensive. I don't have the money for that. I also just spent all my money on the looks. Alright, get this. Cobra is going to have Dave follow a drone into a secret sea blue base. These environmentalist dickheads were lying. Dave goes full Bob the Robber, jumping boxes and hiding from these grunts with rifles. After making it to the top, you can eat a military ration for some reason. I don't know what this is. Someone told me what this does. I have no idea. And after making it to the office, it has all this shady stuff with pictures of the gang. Oh shit, Dave's about to die to gun violence. What's the most on-character way Dave could get out of this? He dives out the window and swims home bullet-free. You gotta wonder how much sleep Dave gets. In the morning, you give Bacon the part, and before he works on the cold suit, he lets you know you can upgrade your knife, which has been an afterthought for quite some time. Then Sato comes in and gives you an app where it's like a Tamagotchi, and then Dave gets an email about an incoming tuna party and asks Dave for a better weapon, but he needs some more stuff from the Sea People blacksmith, but first you gotta sell some fish and check on the crops and sell stuff at the Cobra shop. The underwater farm's also open to plant even more crops for even more ingredients. The blacksmith will now sell you some pretty rare bullshits, and you can sell some bullshit in return. Duff installed CCTV on the boat, and Dave unlocks more gun upgrades. But now it's time to catch some tuna, so you use this net thing to make it nice and easy for a drone to come and snatch it up. The salvage drone will preserve the quality of the fish, which is something that can make it sell for more or less depending on how mangled Dave made it in the catching process. Let's go take pictures of a manta ray. What a beautiful moment of vibrant neon color. I just love the color in this game so much, and I am really glad they chose to make it so vibrant. It's a video game after all. You can just do that. Turns out Otto and the rapper dude are actually long-lost father and son. I mean, Dave puts this pretty well. The next day, Bacon rolls up with the new true blue hue suit that looks absolutely fresh. But first, Otto has something to show you. He recruited his son to tend to some chickens over at the farm. You can't kill them, unfortunately. They just lay eggs every now and then, but you can buy more chickens and some other things for them in the future. But let's get to the real event. One of the most exciting moments in this game to me is the first plunge into the complete unknown. A totally new area with new mechanics, bosses, big game, anything could happen down there. The player also knows that Dave the Diver doesn't miss with the look and the feel of the environment and everything in it. It's vast, it's full of ice and wide open. It's suffocatingly big and beautifully blue. There's also a narwhal. New ice boulders, oars, doors. You're taking some 4 tours. What a joy it is to experience something so big and new so far into the game. The progression of Dave the Diver is just really great, and all of the big beats of everything just hit as soon as the time is right. And while this area is super big, you can't go down all the way just yet because it's a little too hot. What an ice cold, refreshing place to be. Bacon gives you this little decoding minigame and fucks off because you need a sea person to help you progress. Also, Otto makes you a crab trap to catch crabs. Non-sexual. Suam comes and opens the big door for you, and I set up another crab trap on this rock and waited. The first glacial cave is another puzzle section. It's a little annoying that a lot of the later game sections really rely on a lot of puzzle areas, but some of these are actually pretty good. Like this one's like a giant pinball machine. That's pretty cool. After making it through this cave, you activate one of 3 little shape control room things in an undetermined location. And then this stuff goes 3D so this guy's head can blast through some ice. That's dope. That crab I caught earlier finally cured the blacksmith of his cough. Tenzin tells you to get 2 more control room things activated to actually get to the control room and save the universe, and there's also a missing beluga. Dave dips because there's money to be made, and MXM Toon walks into the restaurant. This is a real person. I don't know why she's in the game. Who knows, man? Also, Wang Pang is here, and he's gonna have a cooking showdown in a few days. Don't question it. He's gonna be back. It's gonna be a good time. You call up MXM Toon to go diving with her because she wanted to catch her special order ingredients herself. So really, for the first time, Dave gets to share the beauty of the blue hole while she digs for sea urchins and gets attacked by all of the wonderful fish. She leaves, and Dave goes on a mission to find this missing beluga within the ice caves of the glacial region, and upon discovering it, he gets in another feud with a different octopus. After catching it, you have the opportunity to kill it or let it go. Kind of a dark decision, but Dave's a nice guy. Dave also has some sort of special connection with marine life that is just enticing to anyone playing. Like, I want to let this beluga know it's okay, and to kill big sharks and grab the quahog shells and duka. I just want to be Dave, man. I want to get sucked through a tunnel with icicles to dodge and... Hey, what's this guy doing here? I didn't really need to see that, but I got a nice pick out of it, so, you know, you tell me how worth it that was. After a great afternoon punching fish, Dave goes through the motions of his life on a rainy October night. The routine of this game is just phenomenal, paired with the progression of the mechanics. It really lets you care about each individual moment and drives forward progress in so many different areas. Money can go so many places right now. Hopefully in the sequel you can buy stocks or something, because why not? Why not? Just might as well. It's tuna party / cook-off doomsday, and Sammy over at the farm has some wildly expensive chicken feed products to scam the fuck out of Dave. But Dave is gonna scam the fuck out of these fish to level up his rifle. I found a little baby manatee trapped in a cave, so it's cute. Like a lot of these missions, I protected it from increasingly stronger enemies, you know, typical video game stuff. It's also typical to stop and look at big things that swim right on by. This thing is a nightmare. The way to the second room is through this pipe that is shooting out a current, but Dave can't do it alone, so the beluga returns the favor and we enter a Cuphead-esque level where you can only take damage 2 times before that fatal 3rd blow. Also paired with less of a bullet hell, more of like a bullet hot day. It's pretty fun actually, and a solid change of pace. Also, breaking through this ice is satisfying. So after the run and no gun level, we reach the boss fight, which is more or less the same. Dodge stuff and move in on the weak point through a few little stages. This might be the most normal of a boss fight in this game, despite it taking place between a beluga riding diver and a jellyfish spitting jellyfish. It feels classic in a way, and I can also always appreciate the experimentation with different bosses. Now that 2 of 3 control room switches are activated, it's finally safe to venture down further into the hydrothermal vent region. But first, Dave's got some life to live. 540 meters down, the area turns orangish gray. Also prehistoric. Suam is waiting by the third entrance, but we got some exploring to do. This area is the smallest of all of the Dave the Diver regions, but it does well in introducing just a few more species and ores and materials when the glacial region was leaning towards getting a little too familiar. Most notably, there's this big armored thing and some other finned ancients. It's a little scary down here, so I gotta get this guy Duff to upgrade my rifle. Too bad the death rifle is still just a little bit out of reach. It's Wang Pang cook-off night, and you may be wondering, oh, I wonder what kind of a good cutscene we're gonna get out of this. Yeah, no, that's a true wonder, but you also get to step into Bancho's shoes and make the dish yourself. I mean, it's super simple, just timing, button presses mostly. But for this whole shebang to be introduced this late into the game is actually pretty neat. And of course, Bancho wins. We all know he has the plot armor over Wang Pang. And he also starts thinking of new Chinese dishes. Also, look at how many things I have not yet unlocked. You really gotta work your ass off over here at Bancho Sushi. Also, tuna night. This place is bustling. Everything's great. I made $20,000. MXM Toon is giving the squad a free concert. Everyone loves the food. We ranked up the restaurant. My employees are level 9. My crop's doing well. I'm down to $25. Upon entering the third and final cave, Dave and Suam get to do a switcheroo buddy puzzle, which is a significantly more interesting solution to the easy puzzle problem this game kind of has. I think they really should have made an effort to add some sort of mechanic to most of the other puzzle sections to keep it more interesting like this one. It's got levers, it's got mirrors, it's got fruits. It feels like we're really coming into our own, combining the Dave the Diver classic puzzle mechanics. And then it gets even better because it turns into a Fire Boy and Water Girl puzzle where you control both Dave and Suam at the same time. The guys make it through to a chamber that contains a shark with a saw blade for a bottom lip. And technically this can play out like a normal boss fight, but it can also be a little more strategical because you can control Suam as well as Dave. He can hit the divine tree fruits that will stun this thing so Dave can move in and attack. Either way, it's easy, but I like how this was added. Dave pulls the final lever and the pit to hell is now opened up on the sea floor. And for the third time, ladies and gentlemen, John Watson is After Dave does his little thing, Bacon sends down a drone with many capabilities, one of which is to cut through into the control room. But it's going to take 2 days. So before the fate of the universe is forever changed by Dave's watery gloves, let's go through the motions. The game parlor lady lost her pet, so Dave is on that shit, just like how he makes $1,000 for this picture, and check out that boss card, and check out this farm, and check out these sick-ass kills, and check out this inventory. Good thing they put mirrors everywhere down here. Alex the fish fryer walks in looking for another cooking duel, so of course Dave's gotta go get those ingredients, but only after the money is made. In the morning though, Udo has a new app thing bullshit where stupid weird fish are swimming around, and he's gonna pay big time for Dave to capture those weirdos. Also, you get a fish tracker as a part of that package too. A marlin party! the big day. God damn it, Sammy, I'm about to save the world. Yeah, he just lets you hire him for an insane price to work on the farm. It's really not a hard choice to not consider this right now because I need this money, Sammy. I don't know what to say anymore. I found Thor's hammer in a block of ice. It goes away after one dive. Dave the Diver, everybody. The control room is overgrown and just ruined. So to get around, you need to put these snails on things and also use these exploding tree fruits to desap the pathway. Gross little eggs house these things that just blow up in an oddly satisfying way and melt this goo off the wall. Dave shoots a convenient laser at it, then heads into the main location, the nucleus. This is all it takes. When Dave kills these little things, the entire universe will be saved from the destruction of... I think we all know. The people you saved come back to repay Dave for giving all of himself to save everything and finish the job. The boss's body lies mangled, but what really matters lies on the surface. Everyone gathers to sit back and eat, and Dave makes his way down the line of true to definition characters. It's almost overwhelming seeing all of the people that Dave has befriended on this oceanic odyssey. Everyone at this bar is unique and special, and Dave is the chain that brings them together. Dave is the link between wildly different wakes of life, and he's more than happy to bend and move in the direction of whatever's pulling him at the end of the chain. Everyone wants to be that special thing at the end of the chain, the highlight. But the chain gets to flow and feel big or maybe real small. Somebody gets to be that chain, and you know, maybe it's not all that bad. There is so much more to do in this game. I encourage all of you to go play it and find out for yourself. It's a wonderful experience. If anyone's looking for a sequel to this video, the In the Jungle DLC is more than enough for its own video, in typical Dave the Diver fashion, of course.